All right, Lions fans, it's the Monday morning after. We're going to play a little Monday morning quarterback, but you know what I'm going to do here. You know what we do at this channel. I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, let's relax, right? Let's relax a little bit. Let's calm down. Let's look at some of the positives. We're going to talk about the negatives as well. Don't worry. But overall, yes, the Lions have some things that they absolutely need to clean up. Yes, they ran into a buzzsaw against Green Bay. Yes, it looks similar to what happened with the Michigan Wolverines against the Oklahoma Sooners, but there is much more to be excited about than that. By the way, started a Michigan channel, Sports Talk Wolverines. Go check that out as well. Subscribe to that one. We'll be talking about Wolverines football. Sorry, Sparty fan. But anyways, with all of that being said, let's talk Detroit Lions football. I don't think this game is what a lot of you thought it was. But with that, let's start out with this question. Throw it in the comments below. I like keeping positive, but we need to be honest here for a second. What position group are you most worried about going forward this season? Get as specific as you want. Get as unspecific as you want. You can be as generic and basic as I'm worried about the front seven of the defense, or you can be as specific as I'm worried about the center position. Or anywhere in between. Let me know in the comments. And then I want to know if any of you picked this one, the coaching staff. That can be one as well. That's fair game. That's totally fine. Now, I'm going to start with some Dan Campbell quotes, and then we're going to go into the box score. I'm going to share with you the beginnings of the last couple of years in hopes that you won't freak out so much. All right? That's the hope. All right. Let's talk about this. Let's look at Dan Campbell. All right. He said that team played well. He's talking about the Packers. Campbell said in his post-game press conference, credit to them and Coach LaFleur. They came out and played outstanding. We didn't play good enough. We didn't coach good enough, including me, and we didn't play good enough. All right. Now, again, we're acting like the sky is falling. Look at this next line. The Packers had 20 more total yards Sunday than the Lions. 266 yards we held that Packers offense to. I just want everybody to remember that. Yes, they got out to a quick start. All right, feels like it was 17-3 as soon as you blinked. However, the key here was that the Packers were 3 for 5 in the red zone and the Lions were 1 for 4. The Lions were having 3 very long sustained drives that turned into like 3 points. 6 points is what it ended up being. Look, we can talk about a lot of different things. Our offense did not capitalize. It moved the ball as well as them. This is the first week in the NFL season. The Lions did not play their starters at all. You have to understand that there is going to be a slow offensive start. Look at your fantasy teams. I promise the scores aren't as much as they usually are because teams flat out aren't scoring as many points. That's the way week 1 works in the NFL. But it was hard to watch because everybody's talking about Micah Parsons. Everybody's talking about the new look Packers, and that defense did look very good. They looked very fast, and our speed to the outside and our clear advantage at the wide receiver and tight end was unable to play because our offensive line clearly could not get the job done. But here's what Campbell had to say. As bad as Sunday was, Campbell tried to stress it's not what it appears to be. Look at, he said this, let's clean up the tape, Campbell said. We made some critical errors at the worst times possible. You don't do those. He's talking penalties. He's talking red zones. He's talking missed blocking assignments. All right? He's talking about penalties that give them first downs. You take those out of the equation, it looks different. You feel like it's going to be a different scenario. But we did make those critical errors at the worst time. We are going to learn from it. We're going to clean it up, and it gives us a little barometer of where we're at. Game 1, that's okay. It's about improving no matter what. Here's the deal, and this is what I think often we forget and what we need to look at. All right, week 1 of the NFL season didn't go well. Here's what I'm going to show you. All right, here's what I'm going to show you. If you go to last year, we were talking about it last year, about the slow starts of our offense. We have been doing this for a couple years now. This is our schedule in 2024. Let me zoom in here for you. All right. The first 3 to 4 games, we won, but it was 20 points. That's all we scored. was 20 points, and it took an overtime to beat the Rams. The next game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we lost 20-16. I promise you that the Green Bay Packers defense is better than LA and Tampa was last year, their defenses. Then we go on the road and we beat Arizona, a not good Arizona team, and we only beat them 20-13. It wasn't until week 4 that we went off on Seattle and then Dallas and then Minnesota and then Tennessee, right, that our offense really got pumping. Can I just remind everybody of that for a second? All right, let's go to the 2023 season. All right, similar results. Kansas City, we go on the road to Kansas City right here, and we lose 21-20. We only scored 20 points. Then we play a Seattle team that we always have shootouts against. All right, so, yep. And then against Atlanta, we scored 20. Look, this is how our offenses have started in the past. Please don't believe the narrative that because we have a new offensive coordinator, our offense forgot how to play. The biggest difference to me, yes, you can say that play calling got routine. You knew that we were going to pass on first, run on second, and then have a long pass on third to make up for it. That's not necessarily true. And yes, he was getting his feet wet. As a first-time play caller, the second half play calling looked significantly better. Also, what were we supposed to do? The interior of our offensive line and even Penei Sewell was getting beat pretty consistently. The offensive line didn't play well. I don't know what was going on that field, but we were slipping and sliding all over the place, as proof by the fact that the two teams barely eclipsed 500 total yards. That is not a lot in an NFL game. You expect to see somewhere around 700 total yards in an NFL football game. Like, that is what you are looking at. These two teams did not play well offensively. Yes, there were some big shots that were hit by the Packers. In fact, with our defensive line getting zero pressure almost all day on them, we held them down to just 27 points. And that's kind of amazing to me. And in the second half, there was a lot of it. All right. Now, what were the things that went well? We'll talk about it real quick, but we'll talk more in the videos to come. All right. The run defense was fantastic. It held up all day until the very end. But you have to admit it. We dominated the time of possession until the very end, which is frustrating. But we were able to do all of those things. Those are all good things. All right? DJ Reader, Roy Lopez, Tyleik Williams, they were stout. The running lanes were not there. Sam Laporta is everything as advertised. He looked really, really good in this game. And let's talk about the play by Isaac Tesla. Like, how great was that? One of the best catches. When was the last time they went to the rules analyst in the booth and he's like, I'm just trying to understand what I just saw. Like, even he couldn't believe that it was a catch that was actually made. It was ridiculous. I understand it was garbage time. Doesn't matter. I understand we got dominated. Here's what I will say. This will change things as we play the Bears next week, who are coming off a 1 day shorter week than us. Just remember that. So we're going to have the opportunity to prove ourselves again, get this offensive line unit tightened up. We still have what is widely regarded as the best offensive line coach in the business. We are going to get this figured out. And there's one major difference. I'll talk about it in a video to come up that the offensive line can work on that you noticed absolutely with the defensive line that what the Packers did. That was genius. And if we can stop this one thing, our offensive line will start to hold. All right. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Hey, go Lions. The sky is not falling yet. All right. Another 2 or 3 weeks of this, 4 weeks of this. I get it. It's not falling yet. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.